Imagine paying $250,000 for unlimited first-class travel, anywhere, anytime, for the rest of your life. Now imagine using it so aggressively, you help push a billion-dollar airline into bankruptcy. This is the unbelievable true story of American Airlines' greatest mistake. In the golden age of air travel during the 1980s, American Airlines found itself in a precarious position. Rising fuel costs, increased competition, and a need for rapid cash flow forced executives to think outside the box. And so, they introduced a daring idea, the Airpass. For a one-time fee of $250,000, or $600,000 for a companion pass, you could secure the ultimate privilege, unlimited, unrestricted, first-class travel anywhere in the world, for life. No blackout dates, no booking fees, no limits. At first, it seemed like a stroke of genius. Affluent customers rushed to purchase the Airpass. Celebrities, CEOs, and world travelers all wanted in. American Airlines raised millions in upfront capital, stabilizing their finances and boosting their prestige. But what they hadn't accounted for was human ingenuity, or greed. As the years went by, some Airpass holders realized something critical. The system had no meaningful safeguards, and for a handful of individuals, that realization opened the door to massive exploitation. One of the most infamous was a man named Stephen Rothstein. Stephen Rothstein was a wealthy investment banker from Chicago. In 1987, he purchased his Airpass, along with a $150,000 companion pass, allowing him to fly with a guest anywhere, anytime. And he took full advantage. Rothstein reportedly booked flights like most people schedule lunch appointments. He would sometimes fly to London just to have a sandwich, or hop across the country for a casual meeting, only to fly back the same day. He even kept dummy bookings, reserving multiple flights he had no intention of taking, just to keep his options open. But it didn't stop there. Rothstein allegedly booked flights for others, using his companion pass in ways American Airlines never intended. According to legal filings, he gave away flights to friends, strangers, even potential business clients. From American Airlines' perspective, Rothstein wasn't just a loyal customer, he was a financial liability. Over 2 decades, he had cost the airline millions in lost revenue. In 2008, American Airlines terminated Rothstein's Airpass, citing fraudulent activity. They accused him of deliberately exploiting the terms, costing the company more than they could absorb. Rothstein, in turn, sued the airline, claiming breach of contract. The legal battle became one of the most public examples of the Airpass program's downfall, but Rothstein wasn't the only one. Another legendary figure was Jacques Vroom. Vroom, a Texas-based marketing executive, bought his Airpass in 1989. Armed with unlimited flights and a companion pass, Vroom crisscrossed the globe with breathtaking frequency. One time, Jacques flew to Washington to bring his wife's father with him. Before the trip, when he was sitting in the VIP waiting room at the airport, one of the passengers asked him about the reason for his trip. Jacques told him that he was going to Washington to take his wife's father to take care of the kids because he was planning to travel with his wife. The man said while he was surprised, it's cheaper to pay a babysitter than taking a VIP flight, but, in fact, what the passenger didn't know is that the flight cost was cheaper for Jacques than a babysitter. He reportedly took over 1,000 flights a year, bringing friends, family members, and business contacts along for the ride. American Airlines alleged that Vroom was not just using the pass for personal travel, he was reselling seats to others for profit. According to internal investigations, Vroom would arrange travel for acquaintances, charge them a hefty fee, and pocket the difference. In their view, he had turned his Airpass into a personal travel agency, siphoning thousands of dollars away from the airline with every transaction. In 2008, just like Rothstein, Vroom's Airpass was revoked. He too launched a legal battle against American Airlines, accusing them of unfairly stripping him of a contract he had honored in good faith. But by then, the airline had already committed to aggressively closing the chapter on what had become one of the costliest promotions in corporate history. Meanwhile, the broader damage was becoming impossible to ignore. Steve and Jack were the worst customers for American Airlines during these years. Steve has traveled a total of 48 million kilometers. As for Jack, the total distance of his travels was about 56 million kilometers, meaning the total distance they traveled together was 104 million kilometers. The airline estimated that each one of these persons was costing them almost $1 million every year, especially with the many reservations. They were booking and abandoning it, looked like theft, but illegal theft, and they remained like this for 20 years in total. Steve and Jack cost American Airlines more than $40 million. By the early 2000s, the few remaining lifetime Airpass holders represented a massive, ongoing loss. Each free first-class seat they occupied was a ticket that couldn't be sold at full price, and in an era of razor-thin margins, that mattered. In 2004, the Airpass program was quietly shut down. But the financial bleeding didn't stop. The costs from programs like the Airpass, combined with skyrocketing fuel prices, rising labor expenses, and fierce market competition, slowly crushed American Airlines' profitability. In 2011, burdened by years of debt and unsustainable obligations, American Airlines filed for bankruptcy. They officially cited broad economic factors. But insiders knew. The Airpass, that bold dream of unlimited skies, had become an invisible anchor around the company's neck. Today, the story of the Airpass is remembered not just as a business blunder, but as a lesson in human nature. When offered boundless privilege, some will take only what they need, but others will take everything they possibly can, and more. Stephen Rothstein and Jacques Vroom became infamous symbols of that dynamic. They weren't just frequent flyers, they were relentless opportunists, operating within the gray zones of an ill-conceived promise. In the end, the Airpass serves as a cautionary tale. In business, as in life, unlimited generosity without limits or safeguards is an invitation to disaster. Because if there's one certainty, it's this: when you offer the world, someone will always find a way to take it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel.